Did you know that Gemini 2.0 has a setting you could turn on that basically automates your email? Or maybe you didn't know that there's now custom settings that you could turn on that turn Gemini into a pro at coding, at writing copy, at giving you feedback on websites, and so much more. Well, those two things are absolutely nothing compared to the 11 other settings I'm going to share with you in this video. Because if you don't have these Gemini 2.0 settings turned on, you're not using it to its maximum advantage. And this is probably the greatest AI tool that I've ever seen. Setting number one that you need to make sure is turned on is you need to make sure that you have Gemini set up for your Gmail. You need to make sure it's set up in Drive. You need to make sure it's set up in Sheets and that it's set up for your docs, because this is an absolute game changer. For example, I can ask Gemini right here, please show me all unread emails before yesterday. Now what this is going to do, it is literally going to filter my inbox for me and show me all of my unread emails before a certain date. And if that's not crazy enough for you, it can do this. We could do this and come in here. This is a super long email. I can ask it, please summarize this for me, or ask it what this email is about. And then it goes through, tells me exactly what this email is about. But again, this isn't even the craziest part. If I come in to write a reply here, I can literally type in a prompt right here and say something along the lines of, tell them I'm not interested in 6 to 7 sentences. Now this will go through, this will actually draft an email for me, and then all I have to do is click refine. For example, I can formalize it, I can elaborate, I can shorten, I can have it recreated. And now all I have to do, if I like this email, is click insert right here, it inserts it in there, and boom, this is literally going to help you automate your emails. It's going to help you automate your inbox management, sending out emails, and that's not even the craziest part, because again, you can do this across everything. Let's say that somebody sent me this file right here. I can say, please summarize this folder. What is this going to do now? It is going to go through, watch all of these videos, and then it is going to give me a summary of exactly what is included in here. And you don't even have to do it with entire folders. You could go through and do it just for a single file. And this is an absolute game changer. And again, you could come into something like this. Let's make up a sheet here. We'll come all the way through to the end here. And then we can come in here and we can ask Gemini to do a bunch of different things here. For example, summarize this content, generate a chart, analyze for insights, create a formula. So I'm going to say analyze for insights and trends. Now look, this literally took this incredibly complicated sheet and it summarized it right here. It told me the top channels by views. It told me proportions by views, and it showed me a bunch of other things, and then it cited its sources. This is absolutely game changing. And finally, we can do the same exact thing when we come over to documents right here. For example, help me write. I am going to say I am writing a YouTube script for 11 Gemini settings that my viewers need to turn on. Please help me create the hook first 15 seconds of the video. Ideally, we want to get them intrigued by talking about a few of the settings. Then we're going to click create, and this is literally going to go through and it is going to help me write the script that I am eventually going to use for this YouTube video. And again, we can refine it. We can have it be more formal, more casual, bulletize, summarize. We can have it retry. We can have it shorten. We can have it do all of these things. And this is going to turn you into a machine. And this is going to increase your productivity like crazy. And what if I told you that that was only the first setting? There are 10 other settings that you need to make sure you're using on Gemini 2.0, because this is going to completely change how you work, how much money you make, and how productive you are. But before we get into them, I need you to smash that subscribe button. If you want to learn about the latest and greatest AI tools and exactly how to use them, you need to be watching my videos, because I literally upload multiple videos a week about exactly what AI tools are actually going to help make your life better and exactly how to use them, like this video. Now this next Gemini 2.0 setting you need to make sure that you're using is you need to come up here and you need to change the model that you're using to 1.5 Pro with deep research. This is absolutely insane. This goes through and does a ton of research the same way that you would, and it literally can save you days, it can save you weeks, and it can save you a ton of money if you have a team right now doing research or if you want to do more research for things. So to really show this off, and you can ask this anything. You could ask this stuff related to social media, to finance, to real estate. You can literally ask it to research anything. So I am saying this, I'm a real estate investor that is focused on buying multifamily properties in the US that are between $300,000 to $500,000 and need little to no rehab. I am interested in buying units with no tenants and units that are occupied. Can you please let me know the best cities for me to look and why I should be looking there? Now I'm going to click this right here, and this is going to go through, and this is going to do all of the research for me. And now what it does is it literally went through and said, here's the plan I've put together. Let me know if you need any other changes before I start researching. So this says best cities for multifamily investment. It is going to research websites. It's going to analyze results. It's going to create a report, and it's going to be ready in just a few minutes. Now I can come in here and edit the plan, or I could get this to start its research, which is exactly what I chose to do. Now this is going to take a few minutes to process. So while this is processing, I'm going to go through and show you a few more settings, and then we'll come back to this. And look, this is literally the list of different things and sources that it's going through right now, and it's going to cite in its research. So the next setting that you need to make sure that you're using with Gemini 2.0 is going to be Gem Manager right here. If you click in here, this is going to show you a bunch of different gems. For example, brainstormer, career guide, coding partner, copy creator, sales pitch ideator, writing editor, a sentiment analyzer, hiring a consultant. It literally has a bunch of different things in here. Or you can create your own gem. So if we click into one of these, for example, career guide, this is basically going to give me a bunch of different prompts here, or I can prompt Gemini itself, and it is literally going to unlock career potential, get a detailed plan to refine my skills and achieve my career goals. For example, I'm going to say, I want to become an investment banker when I graduate college. What should I focus on each year of college? Give me a detailed plan for being able to do this. Now I'm going to go through, I'm going to type this in here, and this is literally going to use all the data that it has, and it is going to give me an outline for exactly what I need to do in year 1, what I need to do in year 2, year 3, what I need to do in year 4, and then if this is great, I can now ask it, what should I do when I enter workforce to make 10 million a year? And then what this is going to do is go through and again, give me a different plan. So this says $10 million a year goal. That's fantastic. And while it's definitely achievable in investment banking, it requires a focused approach and a bit of time. So it actually goes through and tells me how realistic this is and how I can do it. Now, on top of this, I can go through and actually create my own gem. So if we come back to Gem Manager and click New Gem right here, I can give this specific instructions. I can name it, and then I can give it a bunch of different specific instructions, or I can use Gemini to actually help me create this myself, and I can come in here and add a bunch of knowledge. I could add files, I could add drives, I could add certain things that I want it to reference, and this is an absolute game changer. This is basically going to specialize Gemini for whatever task that you're trying to get it to do. Setting number 4 is you need to make sure that you have Gemini extensions turned on. In order to do this, you need to come into settings right here. You need to click on extensions, and then you are going to be able to set up all of these different extensions. For example, Google Workplace, Google Flights, Google Hotels, YouTube Music, YouTube, Google Maps, and OpenStax. Now, essentially what this is going to allow you to do is it is going to allow you to specialize all of these different apps. For example, with YouTube, you could say find videos about how to quickly get grape juice out of a wool rug. And now what this does is searches, and it's going to find me a bunch of YouTube videos that actually fit this. In addition to this, we can get this to summarize these videos and a bunch of different stuff like this. So instead of going to YouTube and searching for things, you can literally just use a Gemini extension in order to do this yourself. Or what you could do, if we come over to this extension right here, which is by far my favorite, Google Workspace, we can get this to have our Gmail, have our Google Calendar, Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Keep, and Google Task all linked together, so we don't have to have 1,000 tabs open like I typically have on my computer. And I hope you didn't forget that we had deep research going in the background because their report is finally finished. Let's check in on that and see how crazy this is. Now, this right here is absolutely insane. Before I show you the report, I want to show you that this went through 116 websites. You know how long it would take somebody to do that? To go through 116 websites and actually get some good information back? And the information that it gave me is amazing. It says right here, based on our research, the top contenders for multifamily investments in 2025 are going to be Kansas City, Missouri, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and then Indianapolis, Indiana. And then it went through and told me the exact research methodology, and it started to do a city analysis or gave me a format for that if I wanted to do it. So now I'm going to ask this, please give me the city analysis for the best cities, or at least the best zip codes in that city. So this went through and actually found me some amazing cities. I'm going to ask it for the best zip codes, and it is going to go through and it is going to do that. This is an absolute game changer. If you're trying to find investment properties, you're trying to find different stocks to buy, if you are trying to find different content to make for different types of content that you might be creating on the internet or literally anything, this is going to completely change the game. This literally went through all of the information on Google and told me exactly where I should be focused. This is a game changer. Now look at this. It answered my question. It went through and did a city analysis, the median rent, vacancy rate, population growth, job growth, property tax rate. If we scroll down here, it shows me the best zip codes for all of these, and it also shows me all of the different sources it is citing. This is insane. I cannot believe that this exists. This is literally going to take millions of jobs. And now before I get back into a really heavy hitting setting, I want to show you like 3 or 4 really quick settings that are going to help make a massive difference when you're prompting Gemini, because if you change these different features, it could help you get better results. The next thing that we need to talk about is coming into settings again, coming into saved info, and this is where you can give Gemini a bunch of different saved info. For example, I prefer short, concise responses, and you can basically give it a bunch of different things, show examples here. For example, use simple language, avoid jargon, I'm a vegetarian. You could basically give it any specific info that you want Gemini to know about you. For these next few settings and these next few ways for you to be able to interact with Gemini, we are not going to be using gemini.google.com. We're going to be using aistudio.google.com, which is going to allow you to interact with Gemini in a completely different way. So here are a few crazy things that you could do. First and foremost, come up here, system instructions. Again, you could basically give it like some saved information like I just showed you in the last setting. This next setting is going to be the temperature right here. You could come in here and change the temperature, aka the creativity that Gemini is going to have in its responses. You can come over here and literally choose through like a dozen different models, and you can even come up here and click compare and see how different models give you different answers. For example, we're going to compare right here Gemini Flash. We're going to compare this with Gemini 2.0 Flash Experimental. And what I'm going to ask is please tell me the best stocks to buy in 2025, or at least the sectors you think are going to increase. And then what this is going to do is go through and actually give me different answers here. Now what we can see here is that this is literally giving me completely different answers. This one right here is telling me renewable energy, AI, electric vehicles. If we come over here, it gives me completely different things like cybersecurity or like biotech, or renewable energy is also in there. AI is also in there. But as you can see, this gave me completely different answers than this one, so you can actually go through and compare which one is going to be better depending on what you're asking it. Because whether you're asking the questions about finance, about real estate, about stocks, about productivity, about health, about fitness, or about anything, it's going to give you different answers. And I wish that every AI tool had this so we can actually compare models in a really short period of time. Now, the next setting you need to know about is going to be prompt gallery. In here, you can literally go through and basically explore all of the different capabilities like code optimizer, or you could even get Gemini 2.0 using aistudio.google.com to watch a video and give you feedback on it, or watch a video and tell you about it. For example, if you were a content creator like I am, I could upload my competitors' videos to it, or I can upload my videos to it and I can get it to tell me why my competitor's video is better than mine, or how I can improve on my competitor's video, or I could get it to give me feedback before I ever upload my content. And again, there are tons and tons of things here. recipe, you could do search, you could do marketing AI, you can get a list of things from an image, you can literally order a coffee from a virtual barista, or you could do a bunch of other things like plant care or find brands or tone changer or weather search. This is absolutely nuts. And if you are not using these settings, you are going to get left behind in 2025. But I still have 2 more that you need to be aware of. The next setting I wanted to show you that you can enable is if you come over here to stream real time, you can literally stream your screen with Gemini in order to learn anything. Here you go. Just click share your screen right here. We're going to click entire screen. And now we can start talking to it. Hey Gemini, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How can I help?
Awesome. I need help editing something. So I'm pulling up CapCut. Let me pull it up here for you. And I need to increase the sound of the audio on this video because it's super low. How do I do that?
To do this, you will have to select the video clip in the timeline, then select the audio tab in the top menu. In that audio panel, you'll see a volume slider that you can increase to adjust the volume. Is there anything else you need help with regarding this?
Awesome. Thank you so much. There's also a lot of background noise because I've been clicking on my keyboard and I get a bunch of YouTube comments that say that they hate it. Is there any way I could fix that with CapCut?
Yes, there are ways to reduce background noise in CapCut. In the audio panel, you will notice a noise reduction option where you can enable it to minimize background noise from your audio. Give that a try and let me know if you have any other questions.
Awesome. What about this thing here that I see that says vocal isolation? Could that potentially help?
Yes, the vocal isolation feature can help to further reduce background noise by focusing on the vocal audio of the clip while suppressing other sounds.
Now, of course, I just use that to help me edit a YouTube video, but you could literally use that for anything. It can teach you anything that you want. It can show you how to find anything that you want, and it's an absolute game changer. Now, for this last and most important setting, I actually wanted to show you something that exists on Google that you might not know about. And what I'm talking about is coming to workspace.google.com, and this basically has a bunch of different tools that you could use that make Google basically 100 times better. You can filter by top charts, you could filter by most popular, you could find intelligent apps, you could find work from anywhere, you can do built by Google, and there are literally a bunch of these different things that are incredibly useful. You could filter by free of charge or paid, and I would strongly suggest that you guys check this out because I found a bunch of things in here that have made my life 100 times easier, and I think they could work for you too if you're interested in AI. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I'd strongly suggest that you check out this one right here where I go through 7 different AI tools that are 100% free that can completely change your life. I'll see you over there.